phone more than I thought this morning. All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Tuesday, October 1st, last day of the year that we're open, first day of the month of October, spooky season. If you work in comic direct market retail, you may be celebrating Shrektober for Store Trek, who is a direct market. Anyway, this don't even ask. But anyway, we've got about 22 new books out on the shelf. I'm really at my wit's end. If yesterday's live stream that I decided to do outside and then walked out to see that there was someone sitting where I was going to sit, who then Pete ended up having a whole conversation that I was overhearing while trying to talk. If that doesn't sum up where I'm at mentally, hey Joe, if that doesn't sum up where my brain's at, I don't know what does better. But yeah, I'm very, I don't know if it's subconscious. I don't know, like we can get into this whole placebo effect, but I'm out of patience. The year is almost over. About 36 hours left to this year, basically. And I'm done. I just need to take this big, huge weekend that I'll have, try to unwind. But looking at September's numbers, looking at the orders for the book season, which we'll discuss, there shouldn't be 22 books on my shelf right now. I'm going to be closed for the rest of the week. I'm going to be closed for half the month. But there are certain books that we just had to get. And even then, we only got a copy or two of a lot of these things. We got very few copies because, yeah, the numbers are not good. So that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at these books. We're going to talk about these books. But we're also going to discuss the fact that I more and more it looks like we're not going to go deep into 2025. I don't know how many months into 2025 we will make it, but I just have too much coming out to make the effort to churn through, to look through, and hopefully people will walk in and buy it. September, as I said this in August, September was going to be a big metric for us. Once everyone goes back to school, once things get cooler and people aren't out all the time, how much walk-in traffic, how much will I sell? And yeah, it has not been great. I am cutting the orders. The orders for November are like skint. But there's also all these people who go, oh, could you order me that? Oh, can you hold me these issues? A lot of those people have been falling through. I wouldn't say more than usual, but it's tough. So I'm going to try and spend October to think about how we can keep going with everything being as it is. But I'm really, I don't want to say not hopeful, because I'm hopeful that we'll work something out, that I can still help people get comic books. But I do not know, going into this new year, this new Jewish New Year, if that Jewish year will be the last year of Escape Pod Comics. All right, let's look at the new books that are out this week. We've got 22 new books. Like I said, some of them we've got only one copy or two copies of. The Strange Case of Harleen and Harley. Best-selling author Melissa Marr teams up with wonderful Jenna St. Ogg. Jenna is one of my favorite people in the cartoony realism style. Doing a book about Harley that deals with the current vibe that we have on Harley of her trying to figure out good and bad, right and wrong within her own twisted sense of justice. Julio Anta and Jacoby Sakedo. Julio Anta and Jacoby Sakedo, who did Fortuna, and Sakedo's done a whole bunch of other comics that he's drawn. Julio Anta's done a bunch of novels, all Spanish culture, American heritage kind of thing. So they take Jaime Reyes and get to do a whole new Blue Beetle story with him. It looks terrific. Ultimate Black Panther, finally in trade. Deadpool Wolverine WW3, Joe Kelly writing, Adam Kubert drawing. Just straight up action adventure with these two knuckleheads. No Rules Tonight. Kim Hyuk-suk and Ryan Estrada, the creators of Banned Book Club, give you a kind of sequel to Band Book Club about Kim's time at a 1980s sleepover without any parents. All the kids getting to behave all the way they want to, all the sort of things that they weren't allowed to bring in or discuss at school get discussed. And a very important night for Kim on a personal level, now in a memoir as a bit of a sort of prequel / follow-up to Band Book Club. Unicorn Time Machine, Volume 21, I believe, Volume 20 of the Phoebe and Unicorn series. The Great Wen, we'll talk about that in a second. Fantasy Sports, Volume 3, Sammy Bosma's wonderful series coming out now through Flying Eye Books. Lore Olympus, Volume 7. This might go all the way to the end. Is 7 the end? Let's see, contains... no. Goes to 179, I believe, or in the 200s at the end. But yeah, Lore Olympus Volume 7. Animal Man Compendium. This takes the gigantic Grant Morrison Animal Man hardcover and divides it into, I believe, 3 volumes, or maybe 2 volumes. This is 26 issues of the wonderful Morrison and Chaz Triog's Animal Man from the late 80s, early 90s. Godzilla, the original Marvel years. We got 2 covers on this guy. This is all of the Marvel Godzilla comics from 1977 through 1980. I had a full set of these we sold. I've sold reprints of this. Issue number 1, which is what this cover is. Really just fun Godzilla stuff. Nowhere in the modern standards, but if you grew up loving monsters in the 80s, you probably saw some of these comics. They were always somewhere. Jamar Nichols' Leon gets a sequel, Leon Worst Friends Forever. A new Dragon Prince graphic novel, as Nicole Anflinger has done in all her Dragon Prince graphic novels. There's a bit of like a mystery puzzle here. More you know about the Dragon Prince world, the more fun it is. Babysitter's Club Little Sister, the first Little Sisters adaptation, not done by Katie Farina. DK Inks does do a great job on this. I read it already over the weekend. Excellent work. It's Katie Farina does, I would say, a lot of heavy lifting that DK took over, but does a great job with. Please Be My Star, a new teen adaptation of, can you guess what it's an adaptation of? Mirror, Weirdo, Popular Star, Phantom of the Opera. This strange girl who loves writing lets this beautiful boy sort of use her work to become a star because she's in love with him, but he doesn't realize. Again, Please Be My Star. Quite a shocking ending for this one. Love Victoria Grace Elliott. Should be a lot of fun. Ditching Sasuke. This is one of those books that I actually didn't need to order. I looked at this book. Someone ordered 1 copy. I looked through the first 5 pages of it, and I went, no one's going to buy it. But it's a great little ghost story. It's all about this guy being followed around by her little sister, his little sister, all the time. But it's not his little sister. She's a ghost. She acts like his little sister. She follows him around. She bugs him. She actually follows him around in school. Also, no one can see her, so she's constantly driving him crazy. But also sorts of makes him change his life and become a better person. It looks really good. But again, who's going to buy it? I don't know. We've got another, same thing. Manga biographies. Charles M. Schultz. Udon has released a biography of Sparky Schultz. It goes all the way to the end of his life. All about how he created Peanuts. All about how he met Jean, the true love of his life, his second marriage. All the classic Charles Schultz stuff that you may or may not know, depending on what you know about Peanuts, in a manga biography. How cool is that? And I was like, I should get 20 of this. This is awesome. But sales numbers are just terrible, so I didn't. Mobile Suit Gundam. Kokuruzo Doan's Island, again, adapting the original Gundam cartoon stuff. Most of those things are adapted into their own weird little miniseries, so this is one of those adaptations. Tegan and Sara Crush. Tegan and Sara, the acclaimed alternative pop stars, team up with the wonderful Tilly Walden for a sequel to last year. Was it only last year? I feel like it was 2022 maybe, but maybe it's just last year's Junior High. where we have the Tegan and Sarah analogs living in today's age, starting high school, the end of 8th grade, about a year and a half since we left them. Gorgeous Tilly Walden art, wonderful coming of age stuff, just terrific. Speaking of coming of age, we've got the new Sarah Anderson collection, the Sarah Scribbles collection. The first Sarah Scribbles collection was called Adulthood is a Myth. This is the 7th, do they have a number? 7th or 9th? And it is Adulthood is a Gift. As with all the Sarah Scribbles, you can't really tell, but this has got a little flocked material. First prints of these always have a little something special. So this is kind of a flocked, fuzzy text. It also has some stickers, which will not be in the second printing. Almost done. We're going to discuss the Great When in a minute, but first we have to discuss the latest DC Compacts. DC Compacts, as we know, are $10 editions of wonderful comic books, shrunk down. We've got a few of them that we keep in stock. Far Sector, Harley Quinn, and the Gotham City Sirens, Joker, All-Star Superman, all for $10. Now we can add Trial of the Catwoman, the great Ed Brubaker. Ed Brubaker, one of the finest crime writers in comics, and the incomparable Darwyn Cooke. Darwyn Cooke, one of the great simplified cartoonists out there, an amazing panelist, just one of the best comic creators in his field, in the style of comics he does. Really getting to stretch his legs and do a long-form crime comic. This is the first long-form crime thing he did, long before he did the Parker novels or any of his own books. He did this, Catwoman, Trial of the Catwoman with Ed Brubaker, and you can have it all for $10. American Vampire, Book 1. American Vampire is one of the few comics that really is worth all the hype you hear about it. The first few volumes, I would say, in this 11-volume way of they're going to be doing it, the first 4 volumes of this is just wonderful vampire fiction. It goes through a whole bunch of time periods. It does them all as wonderful little set dressing. It doesn't get too deep into them, and it's just fun. Stephen King actually even helps the Western part, and I really enjoyed it. Now, The Great When. The Great When is Alan Moore's first book in a new series about a trans-dimensional London. That's right, a trans-dimensional London. If you have ever heard me talk about author of the New York Times bestseller Jerusalem, Alan Moore's Jerusalem. All right, Joe, American Vampire for you. If you've ever heard me talk about Alan Moore's novel Jerusalem and how exceptional it is, you can imagine that I'm a big sucker for this book. One of the things that makes Jerusalem so exceptional is Moore's take on time and the afterlife. Alan Moore loves to think things through to a degree where every aspect of a world or thing that he's created has been down to what the power outlets look like in said place. So the idea of him doing a London that at certain junctures becomes part of a giant trans-dimensional London, thrilled. So that's the new Alan Moore. We've got a bunch of copies in stock. Actually, a bunch came damaged. I would have had like 5 or 6 of that, and I think I've only got like 3 right now. As I was saying, we will be closed for the rest of the week. So any of the things that you see here that you want, if you let me know before the end of the day today, Tuesday, I will get them shipped out tomorrow. If not, if you have a hold list with us, I can put them aside for you and we'll ship them out when we come back next week. But it also means we might have a live stream tomorrow. I may do a live quickly as we're traveling to my parents to say thank you for another year, Joe, and anyone else who's listening. But it will not be looking at all the new single issues. We will do that Sunday or Monday. Still don't know what's happening with the weeks of Sukkot. If someone's going to come in on days that I'm going to be closed. As of now, those days are listed on fully closed. So we are closed from the 16th, straight through the 26th. So that's really something. Part of the reason I felt like I could do this is, as I said in the beginning, we don't have the kind of business, the 3 days that I'd come back to justify the amount of money I would spend for the 3 days coming back. So Yeah, I'll enjoy a little bit of a vacation while I'm stressing out about all the bills that we owe. And then hopefully the end of October, Halloween season will huge boost, tons and tons of money, and our tiny ordering for November and December will not be an issue for holiday shoppers who will sell all the stock that we're sitting on from the last few months. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, as I said, it's the end of the year. I am exhausted. I'm done with the year. Hopefully, Rosh Hashanah and time with my family will reinvigorate me for a new year, and maybe I'll have a new perspective on things. That certainly won't be in tomorrow's live stream, which we will probably do from the car. Until then, remember, damn it, babies, you gotta be kind.